I'm voting no on Proposition 8 because I want California to be a righteous society. In Scripture, righteousness can be just as easily understood as justice and fairness.
Right now, it's legal for gays and lesbians to marry in California, and so this proposition would take away that right. And it seems to me that as a group who stands for religious liberty, regardless of what you think of homosexuality or many other issues, we ought to be for the freedom of individuals to choose what they want to choose in the civil society.
I think this is an important issue for Seventh-day Adventists because of the long and proud tradition of religious liberty of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which has always historically defended the rights, even of those we disagree with, in order to preserve religious liberties for all.
Adventists have a history of understanding what it's like to be part of an excluded and subordinated minority. Adventists have been the victims of laws designed to penalize them, for instance, for working on Sunday because they weren't working on the Sabbath. I think that's an experience that ought to teach Adventists that it's bad news when the majority starts to impose arbitrary exclusions on members of a minority group, and I hope Adventists won't repeat that experience in California this fall.
One of the things I like most about my heritage is that it stands up for minorities. We are a minority ourselves, and we know what it's like to be subject to the will of the majority, so we're very sensitive about that. So Adventists stand for religious liberty, and that's why I am against Proposition 8.
This is hard for us to talk about as Christians and as Adventist Christians, that we have strong feelings about same-sex attraction and same-sex lifestyle.
People also worry about certain ideas about marriage being taught in schools, in kindergarten, and so forth. You know, I wish that public schools always taught my values, my Adventist beliefs, but they don't, and they never will. And perhaps it's good that they don't, because it's not a place where Adventist teachings are taught. Adventist schools do that. Public schools are a neutral place where people from all faiths and convictions can come and have their kids be educated while inculcating values and teachings that are particular to their religions at home and in their churches.
There's a lot of fear surrounding this whole issue of Proposition 8, and I think people are fearful that traditional marriage, as many in the country define it, will be lost, that religious institutions will be forced to do things contrary to their moral beliefs. But we also have laws in place to defend against those infractions as well, and we would defend the right of religious institutions the same as we're defending the right of same-sex couples today.
The issues are certainly vexed and complicated and difficult when it comes to viewing homosexuality, and there are more than one way, of course, to interpret the biblical passages and so on. So I think that good people are on both sides of that issue. But it seems to me that in this regard, all good people should be out to support the religious liberty of people, and thoughtful people will vote against this proposition which denies the right of people to live as they choose.
Vote no on 8 for Jesus' sake. By that I mean Jesus was concerned that all people be treated with dignity and respect and equality, and therefore we should vote against Proposition 8 because it reinforces the prejudices that we've had for centuries.
As I think about how we each should make our decision over Proposition 8, I think we ought to just be very clear over what the issue is and what the issue isn't. This is a religious freedom conversation. For Adventist Christians, that's always been very clear.
Christians disagree on what marriage means and what to make of sexual orientation. But what we can agree on and what we can commit to is that people can make choices, and those choices can be and ought to be respected in society.
To learn more about why you should consider voting no on Prop 8, please visit AdventistAgainstProp8.org.